Hi there, Ifyat Atlas here. And here we are in Parsha Lech Lecha. Now, first of all, we have to say that everything that we learn together is in the merit of the safety of everyone in Israel and peace for everybody, and hopefully everyone will come back home very, very fast today, if not right now. Okay, so Parsha Lech Lecha. So we really get to meet Avraham in this week's Parsha. Now, he was mentioned at the end of last week's Parsha. Now, the interesting thing is that most of the stories that we know about Avraham, for example, the smashing of the idols in his father's shop, going against idol worship, and all those very, very interesting stories about Avraham, those are not actually mentioned in the Torah. Those are extra stories that we know. Now, the interesting thing is that in this week's Parsha, we have a story about Avraham and his wife Sarah going down to the land of Egypt and her getting captured there. Now, why does that story need to be included versus other stories, which are the origin stories of Avraham, that really help us understand who Avraham is? Why do we need to know this story about them going into the land of Egypt and getting captured and not know the stories of the origin of Avraham? I mean, if Avraham is our forefather, wouldn't it be helpful to understand exactly where he came from? Why do we need this story in the Torah and not that one? I want to introduce something to you that you may not have heard about before, which is one of my favorite concepts when learning Torah. It's called Maseh Avot Siman Labanim. What happens to the fathers is a sign for the children. It is such a special thing, and it is one of my favorite things about learning Torah, because I find that when you learn Torah, you learn about yourself. And who doesn't want to be the best version of themselves? We know that we do. And when we learn about Avraham and we see the story about when they go down to the land of Egypt, we say that this is one of those big stories that is a sign for all of us. They go down to the land of Egypt and Sarah gets kidnapped. And we see that later on, we become slaves in Egypt. And then that was really a sign. And so there's so many corresponding pieces and details between that story and how we got into the land of Egypt. What does it mean for us? What can we learn today? The most beautiful thing about it is that Avraham knew he had to go down to the land of Egypt. And then this story is vital for me and you to know. Why? Because we need to understand that being awesome and overcoming obstacles is in our DNA. In the land of Egypt, it was said to be the most immoral and disgusting place during that time period. And just being there could lower the good person that you were. But Avraham and Sarah were always amazing, and they will always stay true to what was important to us. That shows us that in your DNA is the awesomeness of being a Jew. That means that no matter where you are, no matter what challenges you have, in your DNA is the ability to overcome anything. And we see that we are capable of anything. And if you look around the world today, we see that there are hard times for us. There's so much anti-Semitism, and we're really suffering. But at the same time, we are coming together. We are helping each other. We are praying. We're making challah. We're doing more mitzvot because we have the power to overcome anything. And if you ever have a doubt, and if it's ever hard, it gets hard, and there's sometimes it feels like this will never end. But understand and know always that this story had to be in the Torah so that you know that it's in your DNA to be awesome. You always have the power to be a strong, confident Jew that can overcome anything. Go into Shabbat with pride and with strength, knowing that good times are up ahead and hopefully right around the corner. Shabbat Shalom.